A change of shift in the General Motors factory in Silao, Mexico, and a change of guard with their union too. After 25 years, they now have new representation and are hoping things will be different.
The truth is that there was always a CTM union here, and they never represented us. They always looked for personal benefits and protected the factory's interests.
Now an independent workers' union has taken charge. That could be hugely significant for more than just the 6,000 workers here. In Mexico, it's a common story that unions are in cahoots with big business rather than getting employees better wages and benefits. The GM workers in Silao, for example, told us they were paid less than a tenth of what their counterparts in the US get. But a labour reform, one of the requisites of a renegotiated trade deal between this country, the US and Canada, aims to change that. It gives Mexican workers the right to vote on their unions and labour contracts in secret ballots, something that rarely happened before. The election in Silao was seen as a bellwether vote. Would the new secret elections work? On Thursday morning, the results. The new Cynthia union trounced the old one. It's headed by paint worker Alejandra Morales. Now she's keen to get started.
The contract that we have was completely on the side of the employer. There weren't many rights for the workers, and we have to change that. We have to be a union that really defends them.
But it's not just Mexican workers who stand to benefit from this. There's a reason why US union reps were watching this vote carefully. It's obvious why in particular the US wants this and negotiated for it in the USMCA trade deal. Weaker or co-opted unions mean less pay and benefits for employees, which in turn means cheaper Mexican labour costs. The US wants to stop what it sees as unfair competition. But there's no guarantees that Silao will be repeated in the many Mexican companies that don't affect US or Canadian businesses.
The sectors where there's interest from the U.S. government and unions who promoted this reform are going to be observed and will now see the closest we've had to free and fair elections. But we're talking about a very restricted number of companies. There are thousands of others in Mexico that have protectionist unions and will never have those elections.
It will be up to the Mexican government itself to choose if it wants to change that or simply let its own reform languish. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.